Folks, welcome to today's Coffee with Jesus or Coke with Jesus. We're in John chapter 1, and we are now at verse 19, where John the Baptist denies being the Messiah. I'm going to read 19 to 21, which is what we'll look at today. Now, this was John's testimony when the Jewish leaders in Jerusalem sent priests and Levites to ask who he was. He did not fail to confess, but confessed freely, "I am not the Messiah." They asked him, "Then who are you? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" He answered, "No." So, what's going on here? He didn't fail to confess. It's interesting, isn't it? The world in which we live in, there's always someone going to come along and say that they're Jesus, or act like Jesus, or act like some kind of Messiah. Well, John was very different. He was, in those days, at that time, he had a bigger audience than Jesus. He was more popular than Jesus. He was better known than Jesus. But he knew exactly who he was, and he knew who Christ was. And so he said, "No, I am not the Messiah. I am not the Messiah." Now, if he had said that, there would have been war. If he had said, that he was the Messiah, we think of things like the Maccabean revolt. But the two names here, Elijah, that's very interesting. The very last words of the Old Testament, Malachi 4, "See, I will send the prophet Elijah to you before that great and dreadful day of the Lord comes. He will turn the hearts of the parents to their children and the hearts of the children to their parents, or else I will come and strike the land with total destruction." Now, John said he wasn't Elijah. What's fascinating is that Jesus identified John with the Elijah that was to come. He's not Elijah. "Are you the prophet?" The prophet, Deuteronomy 15:18. "The Lord your God," says Moses, "will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from your fellow Israelites. You must listen to him." And John saying, "I'm not that. I'm not Moses, and I'm not Elijah." Now, we'll see his positive answer on Monday, when we come back on Monday. But I just want to take two things. First of all, that John was very quick to point to Christ and not himself, and we must be the same. And secondly, we're beginning on Sunday something, I'll maybe put something up about this, called the Romans Road, and we are doing it a slightly different way, in fact, a very different way of doing church on a Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And we're going to go through the whole book of Romans, 52 steps on the Romans Road. And it's so interesting that at the beginning of Romans, it says that this was done according to the Scriptures, as promised in the Scriptures. So, John the Baptist, Elijah, Moses, they're all pointing forward to Christ. If you like, we point back to Christ. But the point is that Christ is always central. And I hope and pray he's central to your life. See you next week. This is Friday, so we'll be back on Monday. Bye.